Hello, my dear class 10 students. Today we are going to discuss the chapter 8.5 Metallurgy. First, let us learn the uses of some important metals iron, copper, zinc, and aluminium. Uses of aluminium. Aluminium is used as electrical use, being light and cheap, and also a good conductor of electricity. Aluminium is used in making electric cable for transmission of electric current. Household use, being light, cheap, and good conductor of heat and resistant to corrosion. Aluminium is used in making cooking vessels, pressure cookers, etc. Many utensils in your kitchen, you will see that it is made out of aluminium, and also it is being a good conductor of heat. It is also preferred as an utensil. Next, industry. Aluminium foils are used in packaging industry for foodstuffs, soaps, cigarettes, photographic films, etc. Aluminium paint is also used to prevent rusting of iron particles and also for decorative purpose. Next, as chemical agent. Aluminium is used as a reducing agent in organic chemistry. What was reducing agent, children? Any kind of agent that itself gets oxidized but it reduces the other reactants. As thermite mixture, you will learn about this in this chapter itself in the later part. Aluminium is a powerful reducing agent and hence it is used as a component of thermite. As you can see, Fe2O3 plus aluminium is the reaction. Aluminium turns into Al2O3, that is aluminium takes the oxygen and iron becomes Fe2O3 becomes only iron. So what is the work of aluminium? Aluminium is reducing iron Fe2O3, that is why aluminium is known as the reducing agent. In making alloys. Now this is very important, children. What are alloys? Alloys are combination of two or more metals where the benefits of the metals together produce something new kind of metal which is much more useful. Aluminium is a light metal but as tensile as steel. It is used in making various alloys. First alloy is duralumin. What is duralumin? It is having 95% aluminium, 4% copper, 0.5% magnesium and 0.5% manganese. Duralumin is used in making the body of the aeroplanes, the aircrafts, doors, windows and household furnitures. Aluminium bronze. It is having 9.5% aluminium, 90% copper and 0.5% tin. It is used in making jewelry, coins, photo frames, etc. Magnesium, aluminium 95% and magnesium 5% is used in making balances. You've seen beam balances, children. Alnico is a very important alloy. Al for aluminium, Ni for nickel and Co for cobalt and also 50% iron is there, is used in making powerful magnets. So the alloys work in such a way such that the metal now formed by the combination of these metals is much more powerful and is corrosion proof, rust proof, etc. Next, let's move on to the uses and alloys of zinc. First, you are having in galvanization. I hope you know what is galvanization, children. In order to protect iron particles from rusting, a thin layer of zinc is deposited in various ways called galvanization and the article is known as galvanized article. Buckets, tin roofs for sheds in houses, trunks are galvanized. Next, in electrical use, in dry cells, zinc is used as cathode. What was cathode and anode? Cathode was the negative electrode and anode is the positive electrode. So, the negative electrode attracts the positive ions. Cathode is attracting the ions which are known as cations. Cations are positive and anode itself being positive is attracting the negative ions which are known as the anions. See, a reaction of cathode is given to you. Zinc becomes Zn2 plus 2 electrons. Zinc is losing those 2 electrons from the last shell and it is becoming Zn2 plus and plus 2 electrons, that is why it is separately written. You will learn in detail about this in electrolysis chapter. Next, metal extraction. Zinc is used in the extraction of metals like gold, silver by wet process. As reducing agent, zinc amalgam ZnHg is used as reducing agent in organic chemistry. We will learn about the uses of zinc amalgam in organic chemistry. Next, again we move on to the alloys of zinc. Brass. Brass is an alloy of zinc and copper. There is 20 to 40% of zinc and 80 to 60% of copper. Brass remains unaffected in moist air. It is used in making utensils, statues, gun shells, etc. Bronze. It is made up of zinc, copper and tin. It is very hard, remains unaffected in moist air. It is used in making coins, statues, utensils, etc. German silver. Zinc, copper and nickel used for making imitation jewelry utensils. Gunmetal, zinc, copper and tin is used for making cannons, guns, machine parts, etc. Next, let us move on to the uses of iron. In industry, see, there are three types of iron: cast iron, wrought iron and steel. Cast iron is containing 2.5 to 5% of carbon. It is used for making railings, gates, manhole covers, drain pipes, etc. Wrought iron is containing 0.1 to 0.2% of carbon, is used for making chains, trunks, magnets, electric motors and transformers. Steel is containing 0.1 to 1.5% of carbon. It is used for making automobile ships, bridges, RCC roofs, pillars, etc. Next, the alloys of iron. Inver steel. Nickel 36% is present and the rest is steel, having no coefficient of expansion used in making pendulums, measuring tapes, etc. I hope you remember what is coefficient of expansion. In the thermal chapter, we had learned that coefficient of expansion is depending on whether the object is increasing due to heat in say length, area wise or volume wise. Based on that, the coefficient of expansion is calculated. Now, pendulums and measuring tapes, these must be perfect in size no matter whatever the weather condition is, because if the substance expands because of heat, then there will be a change in the data. That is, for pendulums, the bob, that is the size of the bob, if it increases, then what happens? The time may be changed. Or say, for example, in case of measuring tapes, if the length increases, then what may happen? There may be a change in the length measurement. So what happens? The measure and the substances must be made up of exactly that kind of material for which there will be no expansion. That is why these are made out of inverse steel. Inverse steel helps in that aspect. Next, we are having stainless steel. Chromium 11 to 12% and nickel 2% and rest is steel. It's used for making cycle, automobile parts, food, manufacturing, machinery, etc. Next, chrome steel. 1.5 to 2% of chromium and rest is steel, used for making cutting tools, crushing machinery, etc. Next, we are having uses and alloys of copper. Electrical use. Copper, being good conductor of electricity, is used in making electrical wires. Agricultural use. Copper salts are used as insecticides like CuSO4.5H2O. Industrial use. Copper is used in making coins, in electroplating and electrotyping. Alloys. As you can see, the alloys you have already learned: brass, bronze, German silver and gunmetal. Next, we come to minerals. With few exceptions like gold, silver and platinum, most of the metals occur as their compounds in nature. Termed minerals. So what is the definition of minerals? The naturally occurring compounds found in Earth's crust or in mines as a source of the metal are called minerals. That is, from that compound the metal is extracted by different processes. Now, what are the metals and their respective minerals? Aluminium's important minerals are bauxite, diaspore, gibbsite, cryolite, These four minerals of aluminiums, you have to remember the formulas as well. Irons, remember hematite, magnetite, iron pyrites, and sphatic iron. Zinc, remember zincite, zinc blende, calamine. Three are important. Copper, remember copper pyrites, cuprite, and chalcocite. So these are the minerals of the respective metals. From these minerals, these metals can be extracted. Next we have ores. Out of many minerals, the mineral which one is used for the extraction of the metal easily and economically is known as ore of the metal. For example, minerals of zinc are zincite, zinc blende, and calamine. But zinc is extracted from zinc blende because it is done easily and economically. So zinc blende will be the ore of zinc. So all the minerals, as you can see, are not ores, but all ores are minerals. It is like that theory that all squares are rectangles, but all rectangles are not squares. I hope you have understood, children. So what is the ore? Ore is that particular mineral from which the metal can be extracted easily and economically. Economically means it will be cheap. A metal can be found in different form in nature called minerals. Thus a metal can have many minerals, but the mineral which is used for the extraction of the metal is called its ore. All the minerals of a metal ore are not used for extraction of the metal. Thus all minerals are not ores, but an ore is primarily a mineral. For example, a mineral of zinc are zincite, zinc blende, calamine, but only zinc blende is used for the extraction of zinc. So zinc blende is the ore of zinc. Now what is metallurgy? The steps involved in the extraction of a metal in pure form from its ore are collectively known as metallurgy. This is the definition of metallurgy. The steps that are involved to get the metal from the ore in its pure form is known as metallurgy. So we will continue with the extraction of the metals in the next class. Hope you have understood, children. Please go through the chapter up till which we have completed today. In the next class, we will again complete the rest of the chapter. Thank you, children.